Welcome to Meliora's channel, your go-to place for C# and data analysis tutorials, products hands-on demos, and insider secrets to keep you at the cutting edge of innovation. Our goal is to break down complex tech topics to a level that you will easily understand to supercharge your skills. Without further ado, let's jump right in. Hello, you're welcome back to the WPF Beginners Training Program. In the earlier videos, we've treated getting started with WPF, treated understanding XAML, and then also layouts in WPF. In this video, we're going to focus on event handling, and in so doing, we're going to deal with how you trigger events through button clicks, using button clicks as an example, and then also how you handle the triggered events using code behind, which in our case shall be C# for interactivity, to build in interactivity within your program. So that's what we'll be dealing with today. Without any further delay, let me switch over to our integrated development environment, the Visual Studio, and at least refresh our minds where we are with respect to the application we're building, and then thereafter we can start making the changes that will enable us see how event handling, which is the focus of today, works. So let me go to Visual Studio right away. Okay, so this is the program we've been building, and if I run it, just to refresh ourselves with where we are, if I run the program now, the program is building now to display in a couple of minutes. Yeah, it's here. So now, if you enter your first name here, enter last name here, and you click submit, nothing actually happens. So if I just say, for instance, John Bull as my first name, and now say Adetona, for instance, as my second name, and I click this, nothing happens. And now what we want to do is to have an infrastructure here that would say full name, and then we'll provide a text box for displaying the full name. And then when you click this, it should the program should take this and concatenate both of them with a space in between to give you John Bull Adetona to display John Bull Adetona as the full name. So that's what we want to achieve. So the submit button would be triggered once you click on it, and then the event handler would be able to now take this and put a space in between to concatenate both of them, but put a space in between both of them, and then display it. That's all we want the handler to do at this point in time. So how do we get around to doing that? Okay, so let me close this and let us go now to modify it to achieve that desired result. So if I close this, if I come back to this place, like I said, we need to put two more infrastructures here. The text block that will say full name, and then a text box that will say that will display the full name. So I come here and just copy the text block and the text box here for last name, and I paste them after the button. So I paste them after the button, and then I now go and make changes to them. So let me reduce this so that you'll be seeing what I'm doing clearly. I'll reduce this and increase this. So I'll come here, instead of saying enter last name, it will just be full name. So I'll change this to full name, and the T-box last name here will now be T-box full name. And you now see that has actually come here. There's now full name here, and there's a text box that will display the full name for you. So now, how do we get this button to be clicked? So first of all, we need to give this button a name. So we just give it a name by doing X colon and then selecting name, and then you give it a name. And button, I usually, as I stated earlier, I usually do small letters BTN and the name I want to give this button. So I want to call it a submit button. And then the content is submit, so that the name here is actually submit. Now, with this, you then have to generate the click event. So if you type click here, you see there's a click, there's double click and all that. So for now, let's just use the click event, and it asks you whether you want to generate a new event handler for this click event. So when you click it, you want to generate the event handler, which is the method that will be called each time it is clicked. So and is a yes, but that yes is done by just clicking on this. So if you click on this, if you click on it, then it gives you this name, btn submit underscore click, which is essentially the name that you gave that button, which is this btn submit, then underscore click, as which is the name of the event. So it's the name you gave the button underscore the name of the event that you're dealing with or you want to handle, and that's what the event handler's name will be. So if you go back to here and now go to the code behind, which is the C# file behind it, you see now that this has been created already for you. So you will now put all the codes that will enable the click on that button to be handled the way is you want it to handle, the way it's desired to handle, will be put in here. So in our case, remember, we just want to capture the first name, capture the last name, then concatenate both of them, put a space in between them, and display it. So simple. So now to do that, I can do here the string, then I have in a full name string, which I give like this. If I like, I can initiate it to empty. Then I can now say if that full name string is equals, then let me use the simple approach first. So is equals, we have the first name, we have the T box, first name dot text, and then plus another T box, last name dot text, but we said we want a space in between two of them, so we have to, after this plus, we have to give that space and then give another plus after the space. So so we now have this. So now you just assign back to T box full name this time dot text, and then full name, we want to assign that string, this string we just created here, full name, to this T box full name, which is what we've done here. And basically that would give us the result we need. So if you run that program now, let's run it and see what it gives us. That's it. So if we do the same thing by typing first name John Boo and second name Adetona, and then we click submit, you see it gives us John Bull Adetona with a space in between. So that space, this space here, is because of this space here. It's because of this space we have actually included here. So without this space, that in between space will not be there. For instance, if we take out this and take out 1 plus and now run the same program, you will see if we put in the same values, say John Bull and Daytona, John Bull as the first name, and Daytona as the last name. And if I do this, you see it gives me John Bull and Daytona, but there's no space in between. So you know where the first name started, but you don't know where it ends, and then you don't know where the second name starts at all. So that is the challenge. So there is beauty in actually adding that space, even though it looks a bit funny. But let's restore the space. So if I restore it, and then put a plus again. So if I put a plus, then it comes back to normal. So if I run it now, it will give me this desired result. So John Bull, then a Daytona, and if I click it gives me John Bull and Daytona with space in between, which is beautiful, which is what we needed. But this looks funny because plus sign in string operation means a concatenation, but it's kind of strange. You're adding things and it's concatenating instead of the kind of addition you see with numbers. So a more advanced and visually readable, visually appealing way of doing this is actually to use what is called string substitution. So in string substitution, for instance, let me comment out this so that we see. To comment out, you just use double slash in front of the line and the entire line becomes a comment. So to do the same thing using substitution, I will use my full name and I say equals, and I put my empty string or null string, and I do colon, semicolon. Then I come back to just before the opening double quotes, I put the dollar sign, which is the substitution symbol, and then inside it, I put the curly braces, double curly braces, open and closing double curly braces, and I'm putting 2 of such because I want to substitute 2 variables, if you like, or 2 objects, if you like. So the first one being the T-box first name, and the second one being the T-box last name text. So if I come here and put the first name, T-box first name dot text, and then I come here, I put the T-box last name dot text, T-box last name dot text. Okay. The intelligence on this is very interesting and powerful. So you see, it's already giving me this. Now, if I run this, you see we'll get the same result, except that we'll also not have space in between. So that is good. You see how this also, if I put John Bull, Daytona, and I click and get John Bull and Daytona, but without any space in between. Now how do I get that space in there? So if I go back to this, all I need to do is to come here and just say space. I don't have to do single quotes again with space. So you just press space, and when you run it, now you see that it displays perfectly. So let's run it and see. So again, if I put John Bull as first name and a Daytona as last name, and you click, you now get John Bull and Daytona. But the logic is more natural this way. It flows. You don't have that strange additions of string values, and it's more readable as well. So this is really the approach I usually use, and the approach I think you would also like to use as you mature in your programming journey. So, but at this point in time, whichever one, if it's the first route, which is this, that you fully understand, it does the job, so you can also use this, but as you mature, you would find out that this is probably gives you more leverage, and there are a lot of circumstances which you find this to be quite easy and smooth and just fits in naturally. So with that, I think we pretty much have covered events and event handling in this video, at least the basics of it, and then what you need to kick off and start using it to generate applications. You pretty much have it. And as I always say, if you have any issues as a programmer, you can always come and comment or send us question through our our links that are down there, and then we'll be able to get back to you and actually guide you. Our mission is to support you to become a professional programmer, so we'll do everything we can to help you achieve that objective. So thank you for listening for the video, and then see you in our next video. Our next video shall be on data binding. Thank you and bye. Thank you for watching, and if you learned something new or enjoyed this video, be sure to show us support by clicking like and subscribe. Your support helps us to bring you even better content, so stay tuned for the next exciting video. You can also click the link below to see other free and paid videos on other exciting topics. If the click did not work, kindly copy the link and paste on your browser. Thank you, and see you in the next video.